Welcome back, everyone. As you probably noticed already, the studio has changed quite a bit since the last time I filmed here back in September. And, since it is October, I can start wearing my more festive hats to mark the occasion. So, from time to time I'll be wearing different hats of all shapes and types to mark the occasion of Halloween. Yes, it's finally at long last October, the time where the Halloween cartoons are dusted away and the holiday music can start playing. So, what better way to kick off the holiday season than with the subject of, you guessed it, Halloween songs. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, wait, what Halloween songs? What Halloween tunes? And you know what? You're right. What Halloween tunes? I mean, it just really bugs me, as I'm sure it does with all of you out there, that there are really no Halloween songs being played around this time of year. I mean, come on now. We have Christmas tunes that they play as early as November, yet there are not that many stations that play tunes revolving around All Hallows Eve. I don't know, I just find that very strange, to be honest with you all. After all, Halloween and Christmas, they're the biggest holidays of the year. So why isn't Halloween treated the same way as Christmas in that regard? Man, I don't know. It's just so weird. For one reason or another, there has always been a preference to play Christmas tunes during their time, while leaving behind Halloween songs in their moment under the spotlight. This is wrong on so many levels. It gives the wrong impression that there are no Halloween songs to play. But guess what? Turns out there are plenty of songs from the holiday to listen to. Actually, there are many, I may add. You'll find these songs playing on internet radio stations like Halloween Radio, or throughout all of YouTube for that matter. So this episode will be the first of a series of podcasts that will focus on my selection of Halloween tunes. They can range from a long time ago to even today. And they come from a variety of outlets like the radio, television, film, animation, and video games as well. And lastly, the songs come in all different types of genres. You know, like classical, instrumental, new age, novelty, jazz, pop, rock, movie songs and themes, and so on. You get the gist of it. So, on that note, let's start off the list, shall we? First up on the list is Disney's Halloween Tree, a wonderful Halloween song to the classic Disney program. They used to play it on Disney Channel in the 80s and 90s, but now they don't anymore. Oh well. But you can still find it on YouTube these days. For me, just hearing that song brings back memories of when I was so excited for the Halloween season to begin. Next up is Ghostbusters. Now, who doesn't love some Ghostbusters? That movie theme song is one of the most awesomest songs you will ever hear from a movie, which is probably why Huey Lewis will always be mad at Ray Parker. But that's another story for another day. Here's another classic. Day-O, Day-O, by Harry Belafonte. I always thought that song with Beetlejuice because, for me, the two go hand in hand. You can't separate them. I love that song, and it just stays in your head. It's that legit. Now, who doesn't love the Anderson Sisters with their spirited cover of I Put a Spell on You? And who doesn't love Hocus Pocus for that matter? It's just always a lot of fun to watch that film each year. Now, this song is a classic, people. Don't Fear the Reaper. It's not just a great Halloween tune, but it's one of the most iconic rock tunes you will ever hear. It's original, deep, and it just simply kicks ass. And there's no question about that in my opinion. So from that era, we go to the Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That song is one of those tunes that, this hat's gonna fall off if I don't fix it. Now, that song is one of those tunes that makes you want to shout, dance, and move around. And just be honest, there are not that many tunes that can do that, but that song does. And for that reason, in my opinion, it's a keeper. Now, from movie songs and pop tunes, let's go to New Age with The Harvest Dance from the folks at Mannheim Steamroller. They do some wonderful Renaissance-inspired sounds with their orchestrations, and if you want to catch them, you can find them in Universal Orlando during the Christmas season. But that's for later. From that, let's go to some TV tunes. Let's say, the Munsters. Who could forget about that show? I certainly couldn't. And neither would Fall Out Boy, as they actually included an homage to the theme song with their hit song, Uma Thurman. Woo. Now here's another classic. How about throwing in Monster Mash? It was one of those novelty songs that no one expected to become a huge hit, which it did, and it's still being played to this day. That's probably why it's one of my favorite Halloween tunes, because it just puts you right into the mood of the holiday season. Woo. How about something from a long time ago? The type of songs that you don't really hear a lot about, because they're old and they don't get played. Let's try At the Devil's Ball from the Peerless Quartet. Now those oldies appeal to me because they're jazzy, buzzy, and if you think about it, they sound a lot like soundtracks you'd expect from a cartoon from the 1930s. Like from the Max Fleischer cartoons for that matter. That's why they've always stood out to me. And from there we can go back to the modern era with Fleetwood Mac's Gypsy. To me, that's one of their best songs. And it all but confirmed all the theories of Stevie Nicks secretly being a witch. No, she's not. But it's a really good music video. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I think you should watch it. It's really good. She looks great. They all look awesome. And at the time, it was the most expensive music video ever made. Until Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael Jackson came to the scene. Well, he was already on the scene, but with Thriller, it immediately propelled him to a league of his own. Thriller, at the time, was the most expensive music video ever made, and it was the one that shot MTV to the behemoth channel it became, and it saved the entire music industry as well. And, not to mention, most importantly, it elevated the music video to the art form that we respect today. I know Halloween would be complete without Thriller. You can't leave it off the playlist. Now let's go back to another oldie, the Bogey Wail from Jack Hylton. Now like the earlier song by the Peerless Quartet, this tune has a very jazzy rhythm and beat that feels a lot like the soundtracks we would hear from 1930s cartoons. And, like the earlier one, I love it for that reason. Now, we haven't included some classical music, so let's do that with Leopold Stokowski's The Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Now, you already know how I feel about Fantasia, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But I'll only say, this song won't be the last from Fantasia you hear on this list. There are others from Fantasia that are going to pop up on this playlist. And, not to mention, it is the perfect transition to a video game music called Ultimate Koopa from Super Mario 64. To me, it is still the most epic battle score between Mario and Bowser in any game. And there are certain parts of the music, I don't know if there was intentional or not, but there are certain parts of the music that remind me a lot of the Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Now, we can't leave out Old Blue Eyes with his hit song, Witchcraft, which was briefly used in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, with Sinatra being drawn as a singing sword. Sinatra, at his peak, one of the best. Woo. Now speaking of witches, we mustn't forget about good old Gruntilda, the witch from Banjo and Kazooie. Now her lair is filled with all these creepy sounds that sets the mood for anyone's Halloween room. And this one has a Haunted Mansion feel, since this version is from the game's Mad Monster Mansion level. Now, no Halloween would be complete without some Disney villain songs to sing to. Scars, be prepared. That's from the best villain moments in any Disney film, and not to mention one of the highlights from The Lion King. Now this coming tune is both an oldie and a newbie. Now how does that make sense? Well, that's because it's sung, both versions, by none other than Calloway himself. Minnie the Moocher was first sung by him as far back as 1931 for the Betty Boop cartoons by Max Fleischer. It was a big hit back then, and 50 years later it was a big hit again as he came back to reprise that song for the hit film The Blues Brothers. And not only is that one of the highlights in the film, but at least to me, that scene where he sings, to the audience, that is the best moment in the entire film for me. I never get tired of watching that scene. It is just incredible, him just kicking ass out there. On something else, aren't you tired of Disney's Boardwalk, how it's all clean? Well then, climb aboard on the Banshee Boardwalk from Mario Kart 64. I was always intrigued by the idea of a racetrack that was on a boardwalk that actually ran through a haunted hotel. That always fascinated me, as did the classical piece Dance Macabre, or Dance of the Dead as it's more known as. And that thing never gets old. Another great piece of instrumental music comes from the new age folks of, you guessed it, Mannheim Steamroller. You can't top them in the new age area. They did another piece called All Hallows Eve. Now this song is more techno and electronic than the earlier piece, but it's still really cool to listen to. Another great Disney villain song that should not be ignored is Governor Radcliffe's Trump-like rampage, simply titled Savages. Despite some of the song's heavy-handedness, Alan Menken's music and the animator's beautiful visuals make this a highlight in the entire picture. And last for this episode to end on is Jerry Goldsmith's haunting theme from Poltergeist. I'm a huge fan of his scores, and this is one of his very best, as it is both eerie, it's somehow beautiful and majestic at the same time. I'm always drawn to that theme because it just, captures your attention immediately. And not to mention with the choir and the way Jerry Goldsmith conducts the orchestra. For me, it is a beautiful score, and a perfect way to end this episode on. So that's it for now. Like I said before, this is the first of several Halloween-themed song episodes, so part 2 will be coming down the road soon. Until next time, see you guys later.
You better not be stingy or your nightmares will come true.
Mm-hmm.